All right, Jesse on Fire, welcome back to the channel. Now, maybe you guys have heard, but this guy from Ireland, his name's Conor McGregor. He's going to fight this dude from Louisiana named Dustin Poirier for the third time. Not sixth, but third time, okay? And they're going to fight this time in July. So, boom, 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 it looks like it's coming in July. So, let's talk about that. We're going to talk about Charles Oliveira and Michael Chandler, who are going to fight in May. And then we're just going to talk about what the future of the lightweight division looks like, because I kind of want to do the thing where I think about, I'll predict these two fights. And then I want to think about, the best case scenario, who would fight who, and how this thing's going to play out now that Khabib is actually out of the mix. So, if you like the content, subscribe and ring the bell. Boop, 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 boop. All right, let's go. So Conor McGregor is going to fight Dustin Poirier again, and that is a very, very interesting fight, obviously, because I don't think a single person in America picked Dustin Poirier to win unless they were trying to get good betting odds, right? But then he punished Conor's leg with that signature American top team calf kick, and Conor could no longer move, and Dustin Poirier gave Conor his very first knockout loss of his entire career. So, very interesting. So going into this next fight, I have a feeling that this is going to be one of the most evenly split fights in terms of people calling or predicting it, ever, right? Literally ever. I think this is going to be 50-50. I think you're going to have 50% of people who pick Conor, 50% of people who pick Dustin, and that's just what it's going to be. I am incapable of objectively trying to pick this fight. I will say this, look. I think that there are simple factors that play into this fight, okay? Number one, can Conor McGregor figure out the calf kicks? I would assume, given enough time, he is a student of the game. I do believe that he will figure out the calf kicks. However, okay, that's not the only factor. Let me tell you what else I saw in that first fight that people are not talking about, okay? Now, until I see Conor have 5 rounds of gas tank, I've never seen it. Now, I realize he's been doing some training and, his cardio is supposedly much better, whatever. I've still never seen him go hard for 5 rounds, okay? Now, what did I see in that first fight? I saw that Dustin can take Conor's power. So even if Conor's landing punches, Dustin's not going night-night, and no one has demonstrated that they can knock him out really clean at 155 except for Michael Johnson one time. So you're still going Dustin Poirier against Conor's gas tank also, even if Conor does figure out the calf kicks, right? But I also think that Conor's going to make major adjustments, and I think he's going to bring the kicks back. I don't think he's just going to come in there with a pure boxing stance. I think he's going to make Dustin start thinking about it. I also think he's probably going to play mind games a little bit more. I think he let him go in a little bit too relaxed. So this is the most 50-50 fight I have ever seen. I cannot pick a fighter. If you think you're just, Conor's going to get worked, you're an idiot. And if you think Dustin's going to get worked, you're an idiot. So, this time, this is actually not me being gun shy. I literally do not have any idea who's going to win that fight. I have no idea, okay? But let's talk about Chandler and Oliveira, okay? Because that's a really interesting fight. Because here's the deal. I think what you're going to have to look for is who wins the fight standing up, okay? If those two guys kickbox, who's going to win? Who's going to win? Because the bottom line is, I don't believe that Oliveira has the ability to get Chandler to the ground. And obviously, Chandler's not going to take Oliveira to the ground. So, in that dynamic right there, very similar to Kamaru Usman and Burns. Okay, I don't think it was Burns isn't going to have the ability to get Kamaru to the ground, and Burns not going to have the ability to get Kamaru to the ground, and Kamaru is not going to try to go to the ground with Burns. It's same exact thing in reverse, right? Chandler is not going to go to the ground with Oliveira, but Oliveira doesn't have any ability to get Chandler on the ground. So you're going to be stuck on the feet. And obviously Chandler knocked out Dan Hooker in a blitzkrieg shot. I think Dan Hooker took for granted that he had the reach advantage and he got caught. But you certainly can't take Chandler's power for granted. I'm going to be honest, I probably should have done this in before this video, but I need to watch a little bit more of Charles Oliveira's striking to see how I feel about this, because he'll have the reach advantage. He's got a lot of style. He's got a lot of, he's a great striker. But Michael Chandler is a really powerful striker. My gut is leaning towards Chandler. Man, I don't know. It's tough, man. That is a tough fight. I haven't seen either of these guys up against someone like the other one. And so it's a really tough call to pick. Right today, I would pick Chandler, which means you guys should probably bet on, Oliveira, obviously. But yeah, that's that. So let's assume, but now let's just think about what's the best case scenario for the UFC. In my opinion, would be Michael Chandler wins and Conor wins. That would make for a huge fight. A huge fight. But also, you got to wonder, where's Islam Makhachev in all this? And where's Gaethje in all this, right? Are those two guys going to fight? Is that too... I mean, so you got Sean O'Malley, who is being given a victory right now, okay? Like, just plain and simple. He is fighting Almeida because they think that he will win, okay? Well, they're going to do the same thing with Islam Makhachev. Islam Makhachev, it's like, if O'Malley can be the next Conor, then Islam can obviously be the next Khabib. And so they're going to be very careful not to give him someone that's too much too early. So I wouldn't bet that they're going to go straight from Dober to Gaethje, but I bet they want to get him in the mix now. And I bet Khabib wants to get him in the mix too, and he'll be pushing Dana. So it's possible they go, Islam and Gaethje, and then those guys are right in the mix for a title shot as well. So I don't know. It's going to be really interesting. I want to see Conor fight Islam Makhachev just because the history there. I want to see Gaethje fight Conor because, oh man, that would be that. You know what? That's the one I really want to see because Gaethje hates Conor and Conor will definitely hate Gaethje, and you'll actually get to see Conor like dirty, angry Conor, which would be amazing. But also, it's like Oliveira and Makhachev. How about that fucking fight? How about that fight right there? Oliveira versus Makhachev. Wow, I would love to see that fight. I would love to see that fight. And, and then you got Dustin and Chandler. Dustin and Oliveira, great fight. But Dustin, here you go. Here are the ideal matchups. Okay, like if you take all these guys that we just talked about, those 6 guys, and you had to pick like the 3 absolute best matchups. You got Conor versus Gaethje, in my opinion. You got Dustin versus Chandler, and you got and then you got Makhachev versus Oliveira. Ooh, yeah. Makhachev versus Oliveira, Chandler versus Dustin, Conor versus Gaethje. Make it happen, son. Don't make me do your job for you. I'm just throwing darts at the board and see what sticks, but that feels like it sticks, son. So anyway, that's what I got. So subscribe to the channel, ring the bell. Peace.